Okay, my name's Adam Robinson. I'm 32 and I was diagnosed with bowel cancer in December of 2020. I'd been experiencing symptoms of urgency to go to the bathroom, occasionally a little bit of blood, and some mucus sometimes. For about a year, I'd been living abroad. I was teaching abroad in Dubai, so I'd gone to the doctors out there quite early on. And it was kind of put down to stress, or maybe changing my diet a little bit. And because I was well and and fit and healthy, it wasn't really considered anything to be too serious. So I carried on my life really out there, and then I came back because of what the impact of COVID. I was working in the Middle East, so the impact of COVID out there was quite big. So we came back to the UK. And I was actually training to join the army. I was meant to join the army this summer as an officer. I was going to go to Sandhurst and train in September. So I'd really put the effort into my fitness, and I felt great. But my bowel habits weren't really going away. So I got to November of last year, and I went to see my GP and just basically said the symptoms that I had, and he he asked me, was there any family history of bowel cancer, which there isn't. I haven't got any family history of bowel cancer. And because of my young age, he didn't think that it would be something too serious, but he didn't want to rule anything out, so to speak. So I was referred. He did an examination. I think I knew from then that it may be something, just from his facial expression and the way that he spoke. He was kind of, come on, let's go and do the camera test, let's get it done. So I was referred really quickly, and for me, that was great because I knew that someone was taking me seriously, and because of the impact of COVID and people getting turned away from hospitals and all these things that you hear on the news of people getting operations cancelled and all sorts of things like that, for me to be seen so fast was great for me, because obviously COVID has brought a lot of worries to people. So after seeing my GP, I had the colonoscopy, which was about 2 or 3 weeks later, and that was when I was diagnosed. It wasn't officially diagnosed, but the colonoscopist was pretty certain as to what she saw, and I do remember seeing something which looked a little bit nasty. After that, it was just, everything was 100 miles an hour. I was taken into hospital the following day. I had my MRI and my CT scan straight away. And then the following Monday, so only 6 days later, I was called back into hospital. And that's where I met my team that have helped me through everything. Even up to this point, I'm still in contact with them all. And that's when I met my team, and I was officially diagnosed with what I had, and they had put out a treatment plan, explained to me exactly what was going to happen, spoke to me about any needs and any worries, and everything was really reassuring from them all. They were very thorough. They were very reassuring in terms of they're going to do everything they can for me, and they're going to do something quickly. So that was on the 7th of December, and about 20 days after that, so just after Christmas, I managed to get through Christmas and have a kind of normal Christmas, even though we had some pretty rubbish news. I started my radiotherapy. I had a week's worth of radiotherapy at Weston Park in Sheffield, and then I had a 3-week break, and then started chemotherapy, and I did chemotherapy for 3 months, which was tough. It was very tough, but I managed to get myself through it, and I'd started on quite a high dose, so I had some nasty side effects, sickness and tiredness, and it's quite difficult to explain to someone like how it makes you feel. But I was determined to get through it, and being fit and well and pretty positive. I'm quite a positive person. I managed to get myself through it, all with my wife being pregnant at the time as well. So we had a little baby just before my last cycle of chemotherapy, which was a bit of a boost really. It was quite a nice boost to get during treatment. During this time though, I wasn't left on my own. I had the fullest support from all my team, from the multidisciplinary team, and they all stayed in contact with me and regularly rang me and checked up on me, made sure I was okay. All the appointments with my oncologist and with everything at Chesterfield Hospital, everything's been on time, nothing's been cancelled. Everything's been done really, really well, and for me, you know, I knew straight away that I was really being well looked after. After my treatment, I had scans again, so I had a CT scan and MRI scan to see what the treatment had done. Thankfully, the treatment worked really, really well, and the team were really impressed with how well it worked, and they said that everything had shrank down really nicely, and there was, you know, things around it that had disappeared and what have you. So I was then referred for my operation, and throughout my treatment I was hearing more things, you know, with COVID, the impact of COVID and operations getting cancelled. I was a little bit worried about that happening to myself, but thankfully that wasn't the case. And 4 weeks after my scans, I was back in Chesterfield Hospital and I had my operation, which went really, really well. It was successful. They removed everything, clear margins, the lymph nodes were all clear as well, which is what we wanted. And I was told after that there was no more treatment and they'll just keep a good eye on me, and it was basically just a matter of myself going home, being with my family and just recovering and, you know, gathering and kind of taking in what I've been through and trying to turn it into something positive. And after my operation, I was given a stoma. So a stoma was formed, which thankfully is temporary. So hopefully next year, towards the end of next year, I can have that reversed after getting through, you know, the next few months of being looked after and checked up on. So yeah, that's where I'm up to now, and I'm still in contact with my team. I'm still in contact with all the nurses and people at Chesterfield that have looked after me, and they regularly ring me, and, you know, and they're always there for me to ring them as well. You know, if I've ever got any concerns, or if I ever need to talk to somebody, or if there's anything that I'm a little bit worried about. I feel great in myself, and I feel like I'm back to full fitness and out doing my sports and what have you. But if there's ever anything that I am worried about, you know, they're just a phone call away, and I can ring them and they give me all the advice that they've got and reassure me. Every time I ring up, I might be a little bit worried sometimes, and they'll be like, "Listen, Adam, no, it's all right, it's normal, just keep doing what you're doing." So on the whole, my experience, although it's not been very nice, you know, a cancer diagnosis is never going to be very nice, and it's always going to be worrying. But the one thing that I think you do want is to know that you're being looked after and that you're being taken seriously, and not just kind of left to worry and not have anyone to turn to. And that's the one thing that they've done for me, is that they've always been there for me, and they've helped me through like quite a traumatic time, and I'll be, you know, forever grateful of that. So touch wood, you know, things are looking good for the future, and yeah, you know, I'm doing well, so